He's a VOD anyway.
Yep. I mean, you do it on the. Oh yeah. Here, let me just retweet what you.
Could also just put it down as a whatever. Oh my god, these are markers. These are not pens. Where's my pens? Pen! Pen! Those are chips. I got chips down here. I'm a fat kid. I got candy. I got my kids' Halloween candy down here.
Yeah, you just still got it down there.
Yeah, they might be a little mad about that. Oh man, I'm looking down at our scorecard for this week, and it doesn't look that hot.
No.
We had a very average week. Strong. But with that said, hey, let's hey howdy, hey everyone. Welcome to the Ducknilla NFL cast today. We are excited for another week of football. I'm still whooping Duck's butt in our picks by 4. But that's considered a butt whooping still. He's tried to catch up, but he can't. He's getting that butt whooped.
You think about trying to make that comeback in an actual every week, right?
Yeah. Not happening. We tied this week. We tied.
I know. And I shouldn't have.
With an asterisk, though. We both went 7, 6, and 1. Which we'll get to that. My Detroit Lions still can't win a game. But at least they didn't lose a game.
Yeah, half a game. They won a half a game.
They still
half these. Let's just say they're not going to go fully. They're not going to go 0-17. Okay.
Yeah. Nope.
So
not going.
We are on track for good. That's a good thing.
Yeah. With that said, though,
they still have a chance to do better than the Browns.
Get out of here! I wish my team was the Browns right now. You guys are still playoff contenders.
I don't know about that.
You guys are still playoff. Calm down. Pump the brakes. This is going to be our unofficial Michelin Tires Pump the Brake. Not sponsored. # not sponsored.
Hey, give us a call.
Yeah, give us a call. But hey, how's your week been? I ask you this like we don't talk just about every day. So
right, yeah. It's could be better, but it's
like I know you're not having the best week. So how's your week?
No, I haven't been feeling the greatest. So I mean, just getting over that, and it's not anything flu wise. I'm drained, man. Like something with my feet have been killing me all week. It's like old man syndrome. You get up and try to walk, I can't even barely walk. I don't know what's going on, but we're still trying to work through it. I don't know, probably just stress, building the house, money, all that fun stuff. Going through all that, Spectrum. Yeah, I'm talking to you, Spectrum. Trying to charge me $6,000 for internet. Got me all.
The price is too damn high.
My neighbor, and I was just thinking about this. I could take a football. I'm a lefty, right?
Yeah.
I can throw a ball pretty far, pretty easily. I could right hand throw it to my neighbor's house. That's how close we are. $60 for them. But no, let's go another, 400 feet over and try to charge me $6,000. We're gonna have words. So
they're gonna get these hands.
They're gonna get these
They're gonna get these hands.
Like, come on. It's either that or wait till spring. No internet, no TV for 5 months. I mean,
nope.
That might be a good thing, but
yeah,
we don't want that. So yeah, overall, it was a good weekend. We had a great weekend of church. We do child dedication at our church. So we were able to dedicate one of our youngest one to it this week. So that was special.
It's always nice.
We had 6 families do that this week. So that was awesome. It was the first time we did it in the 2 years of our church. So that was amazing. That's exciting. So yeah, overall good week. But
always.
How about you?
I just can't catch a break. That's where I'm at. My life needs a break. Like, one of those when your life is in a crisis, you're like, God, can I get a break? You're like, can I take a holy time out?
It's the what's the song? Jesus, take the wheel.
Yeah, I'm
come on now.
Yeah, I'm at that. I'm just ready to.
But we're here.
Yeah,
right?
well, we're here. We're here, ready to
Talking
start it
about
up.
football.
Talking about football. You know what though? This is this is like my therapy too. This helps me. A lot of times when I stream, especially playing games, people will come to me and be like, "Hey, I just want to thank you. You help distract me
Yeah.
from real life." Believe it or not, I'm not. I don't want to speak for Doug, but I'm sure he feels the same way. You know, this is a distraction for me in a lot of ways as well. So,
Right.
I get to come out here and just have a relief, you know, breather moment. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But with that said, I'm still whooping Duck's butt.
Oh,
The greatest
thank
season ever.
you.
Duck thought he could catch up.
I thought I had it.
I threw a couple games, but he just couldn't do it. And we both went 7-6-1. But the first game I threw, Baltimore versus the Dolphins. Can we talk about this game real quick?
That one, please. Baltimore.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. There goes the sound again. What's up with this autoplay?
No autoplay, please.
I don't know how to turn it off. I don't know why it's even as an option. But
Well, the Ravens proved yet again. I'll start us off. The Ravens.
Go ahead, 1 sec for me.
Yep. The Ravens proved once again this week that we don't know who they are. All right, we got to take a timeout. Look at this. Look, you cannot just come up with some cute kids and expect us to come up and continue the cast like nothing's going on.
It's not nighttime. She's not ready for it.
You can't just come up. See, that's what we are all about at stream. Like that hashtag dads.
Right? That's what it's all about, right?
Mm-hmm.
Those what makes those days even better.
Oh yeah, 100%.
All right.
God bless you and your two little girls. I cannot deal with it. I am so glad I have 3 boys.
We got a mix of both, right? So we almost got a 13-year-old here coming up, so that's crazy.
Mine's almost 10, and I can't imagine 10. 13's another milestone. No.
Oh yeah.
Well, with that, we'll get back to football. The Ravens proved to us this week we still don't know who the freak they are. And you called this. You took the Dolphins.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me, you have the insider information. What's going on?
We're seeing it throughout the season with Baltimore, with like the one-dimensional team that they really are right now. We're not seeing the two-dimensional that they are. They're decent, but they're relying too much on Lamar Jackson. And
yep, we talked about that.
Look at their rushing yards.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they stopped their rushing. The most rushing yards was Lamar at 39 yards. So they were one-dimensional and making him throw the ball. He couldn't even get a receiver over 100 yards. So Marquise Brown had the most targets and had only 6 catches after 13 targets. So we just saw. I didn't get to watch this game fully, or maybe I watched some of it. I don't remember. But there was a lot of punting in this game.
Oh yeah,
a lot of 3 and outs, a lot of short drives. I mean, geez, there was a lot. Wait, let's see. Let's count this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 punts total from both teams. That's good defense.
Good defensive game. But when we are Dolphins, they're not normally known for this like heavily good defense. I mean, myself, I personally have seen them as a better defensive team, with Cameron Wake and players like that. They've never been the stat popping. Like when we think Baltimore, we think Steelers, we think gritty football, tough football. Ravens have been getting in, soft with 2 lowercase O's.
Yeah, and you see that with Jacoby Brissett getting hurt and Tua coming in, a lot of times teams aren't really prepared for that second quarterback.
No,
even though they know who it is and they know they're just mentally not ready for him. And he did decent. He didn't throw the game away. He had some good passes and some good overall plays. But yeah, we just saw the Miami's fourth quarter was just way better. So I'm a little, a lot of people are still high on Baltimore. I'm not that high on them. They're still a good team. Don't get me wrong. Lamar is still a good quarterback. But when you get into games like this, you worry about him getting injured and getting hurt because he's trying to get a comeback by himself. So keep an eye on this team. We'll see what they do this next week, and we'll see who they play, and we'll go from there. But
yeah, this team is. There's other teams like this team. I don't know what to do with this team. They're, 1 week they're like the best team in the league, and then the next thing you know, they're like they can't beat the worst team.
Right.
Like, right. And I did call it earlier. I said I was like they almost lost to the Lions. There's plenty of teams they've lost to. It's Lamar Jackson or bust. That's what it is. I mean, they just dropped Lev Bell, so there's more question mark. I mean, they feel better with who they have, but I mean, so many question marks at running back, and they need better receiver play. Defense. I mean, your defense can only do so much, but there's just so many questions with this team. They're probably gonna make the playoffs still, but I don't know.
I mean, you look at all their games that they've played so far, right? They've been all pretty close, except for, their win wise. The first game that they lost final overtime against the Las Vegas Raiders. They beat the Chiefs by 1 point. They beat the Lions by 2 points. They beat Denver pretty good, 23-7. They won overtime against the Colts. Then they did win at the Chargers 34-6, and then they got killed by the Bengals. And then barely won the game in Minnesota, and then they lost the game. So every game's has been a struggle for them.
Mm-hmm.
There hasn't been any true. Some of the games they won really well, but then the next week, like some of the team this year has been so inconsistent with a lot of teams.
Oh,
they win
this
34-6.
week,
then the next week they lose 41-17.
Baltimore is probably the worst team to pick right now. They're one of the hardest. Like last week, I took the Vikings over them, and they look like hot trash out there.
Right.
Like this week, they look like trash. When they played the Vikings, they look like they played pretty good football. Next up, though, we have the Buffalo Bills going to New York and just beating up the Jets. This was just a 2-6 team not being ready for a good team. I mean, the Jets are the Jets.
We all saw this coming.
Yeah, I mean, it's an in-division game, so you know how I feel about that. Anything could happen, but Bills just dominated.
Oof.
Now, the game that was a little bit of a huge shocker was the Buccaneers-Washington game. The Bucs just not being able to get it done. I said it briefly last week. I said Washington had a really rough field to play on, but there's no way you were getting me to take the Bucs. I would take the Bucs over and over again. If this was a rematch, I'd still take the Bucs. Granted, we got to think playoffs last year. The Bucs the Washington almost beat the Bucs in the playoffs. So
right.
This is a tough team for the Bucs to play. I really think a lot of it has to do with the field. This is like by far one of the worst fields in the NFL. Other than Pittsburgh, apparently. Pittsburgh was pretty bad this week. They were talking about resodding their field after Sunday, which thanks.
Yeah, I mean, but you think about it, when you're resodding a field and you only give it a week to germinate and to connect into the ground, it's not.
No. They planned on ripping the field up after Sunday.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They rip it up and put sod back down again. That's all they're doing is putting that back down. There's not enough growth time unless they're putting some kind of advanced process into the grass.
Yeah.
Trust me. I mean, I worked in a lot of golf courses. I understand that it takes a lot of time to get a grass to really, get there. And then now your cleats and you're playing all different. It's going to be breaking up, especially if you have bad weather. And, we're going to be getting that in Pittsburgh here soon. So if we haven't already.
My question for you is, how concerned for the Bucs? Are you concerned? Are we worried?
No, I'm not concerned for them at all. This was just a little down.
Are we looking at them as are they the team to beat? Especially, we haven't got to the Rams yet, but seeing how the Rams played,
I'm still gonna keep them as a team to beat because they won the Super Bowl last year. This is kind of the same scenario. They're in a better situation than they were last year.
Now, I was gonna say, you got to remember, last year they were a wild card team.
Yeah.
And they got hot. A lot of this is getting hot at the right time. Being healthy is really big. They got like Richard Sherman went down in this game, which is huge. He was their only starter. So once they get, if they could get healthy, they get Sean Murphy Bunting back. They get him healthy. They get, if Sherman can come back and they get, they got some other defensive end pieces that are hurt. If they could get all those pieces back at the right time, they're going to be perfectly fine. That's really what this team is, If they could get other teams off the field on third down, there'll be a lot better. Brady could go out and throw 45 up, but you really don't want to put him in that position. You want to be able to, he's going to have his bad day. Every player's going to have their bad days, and you want to make sure you can give him the ball back. And this is a team, the Bucs, we expect to have a good defense.
Mm-hmm.
We expect this team to be good, so I'm not that concerned either. I understand the injuries. This is a team that's won it. They can handle diversity. So great coaching staff. You have TB12. I'm not worried at all. Plus a lot of veteran players and leadership in that locker room. So
right,
I have no worries. Even Richard Sherman. He might not be a top defensive end anymore, but he's still a great locker room player. So no worries.
His presence is still there. Even though he might not have his speed and burst that he had before, but his knowledge can definitely get him into the spots and situations where he needs to be. So that does hurt him, and hopefully he can get back.
Next up, we have the Dallas Cowboys just trampling over the Falcons. I heard a lot of people saying, look, Cowboys are back, baby, which, hey, they could be. They could be back. But to me, this pump the brakes. The Cowboys it's like beating up like a child. It's like a heavyweight fighter going up against a lightweight, beating the crap out of him, talking about, I'm the heavyweight champion of the world.
Yeah, now.
Pump the brakes. You lost to the Broncos a little while ago. I still think they're a really good team. They're balanced.
It's just one of those things where I told you like last week where when you had Dak Prescott coming back from an injury. It's his first game back. He's a little rusty. That's why they lost that game. He comes to this game and just completely sheds any of that rust whatsoever. Granted, we know this is against a Falcons team that's been up and down this year. Matt Ryan hasn't had a good game. Looked like Matt Ryan didn't even play the whole game because they put Josh Rosen in. And when you got to put Josh Rosen in, it's a bad game. We've seen toast. Josh Rosen gone from the high up in the college to just completely tanking. He's one of those quarterbacks that I put where it was Sam Darnold. I think he's the same kind of concept with him. We'll talk about that team here real soon because if we would have had the knowledge we had when before that pick would have been totally different.
Oh yeah, but, we will definitely get into that.
With this team, they're clicking. CeeDee Lamb had a great game. Pollard, Cooper. So they have a really good wide receiver core in this team. The rushing was decent. It wasn't great, but they were decent.
They didn't need to be good. They were just there.
Point, dude. He was on point. 29 points in the second quarter. The game was over.
Oh,
the game was over in the first quarter, let alone 29 into the second. So this Dallas team, I've always liked Dallas. I've always been a Dallas. That's like the team that I watch. And on this point of it, in this division, but it's exciting to see them do good. I think I like Dak Prescott. I think he's coming back like that. It's a good game for him to come back and just dominate like a college
game. Yeah, that's basically how I feel. Falcons are done. They're toast. Just tank your season, please. Actually, I don't want you to do that because one, sportsmanship is a thing. Two, you need to stay away from my Lions record. Okay, they get the first pick. Next up, we have the Tennessee Titans, number 1 seed in the AFC, beating the Saints, which we both took the Titans in this one. For a minute, I thought they lost. I'm not like, wait a minute. But we both took this team very close. Mm-hmm. This was a surprisingly close game.
Yes,
this was a back and forth game. I want to say I'm pretty surprised, but at the same time, the Titans. This is who the Titans are. Their record fools you. They may be 8-2, but they play like a 6-4 team. Maybe 5-5. They play more like a 5-5 team. Like, you don't know who they are. They could easily be 5-5 this year. So I'm not. I don't want to. I don't think the Titans will be the number 1 seed by the end of the season. That's how I feel. Saints, I still have many questions on. We got to see more play of what life looks like without Jameis Winston, and it's very concerning.
Mm-hmm.
But with that said, they still came close to being the Titans. Titans is still without Derrick Henry, looking fine without him.
Titans are winning the close games, and that's what matters too.
Mm-hmm.
You can win the blowouts, win the tough games, and they're winning the close ones right now. So that's making them a good team.
Next up, we have the Colts beating the Jaguars 23-17. The Jags should have never been this close. Should have never been this close. But the Colts played well. Their running game was on fire. But I just, future-wise, like, do any of these teams intrigue you?
No. The Colts, I mean, I'm a little intrigued with them. They're at 500. They got potential. Jags, I mean, this is one of the first games Trevor Lawrence hasn't thrown an interception, so that's that's a plus, right? He still had horrible stats, but
remember, he was supposed to be this like prodigy coming out, right?
Yeah,
like he was like
the next Tom Brady, I guess, but not even. He's having a worse year than most really good quarterbacks that have had a bad first year. But he's just, I mean, stat wise, you can look up them stats; they're pretty rough. But.
Right. I mean, I want to point out the playoff picture right now, just real quick. Oh man, I hate the way they do these. But like as far as teams go that are like, right, like a 5-5 record does not throw you out of the playoff. Like, we're talking,
no,
wild card teams are 5-5 right now, right?
I believe so. Fine. Here.
I'm like looking on NFL.com for their standing chart, and it is disgusting.
Right. I mean, they have, on the bubble, most
it looks
5-5
disgusting.
Teams are on the bubble. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. When we look at playoffs, like, so you get 3 teams that make it. Right now, you'd have the Steelers 5-3 and 1. You have the Patriots 6-4, the Chargers at 5-4, and you have three teams at 5-4, and the Colts at 5-5, the Browns at 5-5, the Broncos at 5-5. So just because you have 5 wins does not mean you're out by any means.
Mm-hmm.
There's plenty of room to move here. When we get to the NFC, much of the same, if not, better for the 5 teams. You have, if it ended today, you'd have the Rams with 7-3, being a 1 seed, being a playoff wild card. You'd have the Saints coming in at 5-4, and the Panthers at 5-5.
Right,
would be making the playoffs as the last wild card. The Panthers, which someone over here has written off time after time, probably why they're 4 games behind, because they have 5 wins.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, there's 4 teams with 4 wins. The Eagles, the Falcons, the 49ers, the Vikings. You're still in it. But I mean, I'll even go as far as saying the Giants and Washington, they still have a fighting. Even the Seahawks, even the Bears still have a fighting chance.
Right.
I mean, I'm not gonna. This is a long shot.
Right.
But I mean, you're only 2. I mean, if we go to the worst team in the Bears at 3-6, you're 2 games away. If all those teams, we've seen worse things happen. You're 2 games. There's There's 7 games left in the season. There's plenty of time. And for the Bears, there's 8 games left in the season. So they have plenty of time to catch up. Not saying the Bears will. If you're a Bears fan, calm down. It's not happening.
Right, yeah. Don't.
Let's pump the brakes.
Next year. Yeah,
Talking about pumping the brakes. The Lions got rid of their kicker from this Sunday. We signed a new one because that might have been the worst kick I've ever seen in my life. Going for that game-winning field goal. Couldn't do it. And then we just tied the game. It was incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Steelers 5-3-1. Currently in the playoff picture. I don't think they're making the playoffs.
Well, and Roethlisberger's on the COVID list.
Yeah, right, I don't even count. I mean it's a weird year for him.
But I'm just saying,
if he's got the shot, he just has to have 2 positives before he comes, unless they play on Thursday.
So, you know how they are with these.
Yeah, he's vaccinated. He's vaccinated. They'll find a way to make him okay.
But who do they play this next week? Well, we'll find out. We'll talk about that.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later. I don't think there's a playoff team. Lions, thank you for not losing. You can now lose the rest of the season for me. I'll be very happy to know you did that. But I still would like a win. I could say you can at least win a game. Next up, this is where Doug's heart broke. His heart fell. I'm surprised you're wearing. Where's my bag?
Let's go to the next one.
Well, the Patriots put on a beating, 45-7. I want to say this: the Browns have some struggles going on. They have an identity issue, I believe. But I think the bigger picture that is getting overshadowed, and I know, as a Browns fan, you're not seeing this. I don't think you're seeing this fully. And that's the Patriots are actually getting hot. The Patriots are looking good.
What do you mean I'm not seeing this fully? I told you from the beginning of the year I was sold on this quarterback.
I get the quarterback, but the team as a whole. There's a lot of questions. Is Belichick really that good? Brady's gone. Brady's got another ring with a different girl. Like, is this team that good without Brady? But like we've said multiple times, we got to step back. I don't need Mac Jones to be Tom Brady. I need him to be good. That's it. He doesn't need to be Brady. He won't ever be Brady.
No.
With that said, we will move on. Duck's heart is still broken.
No, hold on. Let's talk about that for a second. I think.
All right, you get it. You vent it out. Vent it out. I'm gonna go turn off the light real quick.
I'm all on Twitter, watching what everybody's saying, slamming Baker Mayfield for this and that. Yes, he had a poor game. He didn't play great. He got hurt. That didn't help either. Case Keenum came in and played decent. Yeah, he's been hurt. He's been shouldered. Now he's got a knee contusion. He's going through a lot of things. The defense was absolute garbage. What position does Baker Mayfield play? He plays an offense. He's a quarterback. He has nothing to do with what the defense does. The defense secondary was horrible. I mean, just looking at these stats, I couldn't watch the whole game. I'm not lying. I did not watch the whole game because it was hard to watch. They were just getting trounced. Passes all over them the whole time. The secondary was worse. The secondary is worse than it was last year with Sendejo.
No!
And we wanted Sendejo gone. We wanted him gone as soon as he came onto the team. Yet we got all these great players that have come over here and put them together. They're awful. It's been a bad defensive few games, and we're so inconsistent. One game we're dominating, the next game we're getting killed, and it's just there's no inconsistent play over multiple games. So,
for a minute I thought we were talking about the Rams.
Well, there's a lot of teams like that. We just talked about
yeah.
There's so many teams that are just up and down all year. And this has been one of the worst ones.
Isn't that what I texted? I think I texted you that exact quote. Did I text you that exact quote when we were talking about the game?
I think so. Yeah, it was.
I think I texted you that exact thing.
Been bad. Been bad. This is a game they should have won. They started off strong. First drive was great, and then it was just downhill from there. Like as if they didn't know who was on the team and what they were even playing.
We were actually talking about. You were talking about the Browns, and you were talking at this exact point. I said, "Oh, I was like, that's Baltimore for you." And then I was like, "Oh wait,
Right?
I'm talking about the Browns."
Right?
But yeah, there's a lot of teams like this. You know, we said this before the Rams game, but the Rams are in the same boat.
I mean, even Tampa Bay is being inconsistent. You know, it's just...
let's talk about another inconsistent team right now. The Chargers.
Oh, yeah.
Losing to the Vikings 27-20. The Vikings are this weird team. They're kind of the same where we don't know who they are, but we also this is a year of just inconsistent teams. You know, teams that are just floating this bubble, and you know, the Chargers are different because the Chargers have beaten really good teams. The Chargers have put up some great games, but then they have games like this where they go against a mediocre team like the Vikings.
Yeah.
And I can't judge the Vikings anymore. I don't know if the Vikings are a good team, a great team, or just this consistent team that can consistently lose and consistently win. They consistently go 50-50. I don't know what you want me to say about them.
Not much you can.
This is more I'm not sold on the Chargers anymore. I'm not writing them off.
Right.
But this is not a deep into the playoffs Chargers team anymore.
Well, this is people catching up to Justin Herbert and what he's doing. You know, being his second year in, they're understanding what he's doing, and they're able to slow him down. So, yeah, I think you're going to see this as a middle of the pack team for the rest of the year. I think you're just going to see that unless they have some major changes. But I don't know. We're seeing a lot of teams like this.
Next up, you mentioned if we had the information before game time,
100% would have switched.
That Cam Newton was going to be starting. We would have taken the Panthers over the Cardinals. You know, the Cardinals are injury ridden right now. You know, they're starting QB Kyler Murray has not played in a couple weeks. But they've won some games like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, the Panthers, you put Cam Newton to this equation, I'm sold. I've liked the Panthers from the beginning of the year. I liked them with Sam Darnold, and I thought Sam Darnold was going to help them. Cam Newton
helping nothing.
Cam Newton is
on the bench watching from the TV. That's all he's going to be doing.
Good. I don't want to say Cam Newton's better than Sam Darnold. I think Cam Newton is better at running the ball.
Cam Newton is better on the couch than Sam Darnold is starting in the game. Okay, that's how much. Don't you can't even compare the two. And Christian McCaffrey had a great game as well, so that helps.
Well, it's like what, second week back?
Yeah, and he's back to force. So you're gonna see some good things out of this team.
How long until Cam gets hurt?
Picking them. We'll see.
How long until Cam gets hurt?
I don't think he'll get it. I don't think he will. I think he's gonna be. He's solid this year.
We shall see.
Yeah. Right.
Next up, we had the Eagles. This is our other game we differed on. The Eagles beating the Broncos. Defense of the Eagles just beating up the Broncos. This is what I called. I called the Eagles defense would be beating the Broncos, and the Broncos, we didn't know who they were. You know, we know who they are. They can't beat good teams, but we don't know how they do against bad teams. And I just didn't think that this offense could beat this defense. And that's exactly what happened. Mind you, Jalen Hurts is also starting to develop into who he is and become the player that he needs to be. Broncos 5-5 team currently in the playoff picture. I don't think this is a playoff team. They're going to fight it, but I just don't, we'll see how the schedule plays out, but I don't think they will.
Melvin Gordon and his fumbles are really hurting him.
Mm-hmm.
He's been known for that.
Next up, we had the return of Russ. Russell Wilson, and our new favorite player, Aaron Rodgers, and the Green Bay Packers winning 17-0. That's a big goose egg.
Scoring game that first half
for Seattle. But this goes to my narrative that I don't think Seattle's a 500 team. You only got to lose 3 more games. 3. And I am right. Yeah. Since week 0.
I'll give that to calling it. I think that's where we're at. I mean, you get skunked like this. That doesn't happen very often in NFL. So this was a bad game for them. It was a cold day. They had some, rain and drizzle.
Oh, I don't want to hear nothing. You're from Seattle. Well, you're used to rain. You're used to cold. Yeah. There's no excuses.
This was a rough game. This
is what happened. This isn't the Aaron Rodgers. I thought Aaron Rodgers was going to come out and put out 50. After everything that's going on, but it didn't happen. He admitted, he actually admitted, he felt a little rusty out there. But he came out.
This is one of those games you're going to see him the next game they play. No matter who they play, you're going to see him step up and do really well, just like we saw with Dak Prescott the next week.
Yeah. And, and even Aaron said that, these two teams have a history. These two teams are usually always in the playoffs, always having good games, always battling it. And, this wasn't a blowout from the get-go. This was just a sustained win. They kept them down, kept them punting the ball, won on big plays, and then scored some points. This was a well-played football game. I'm not fully going out saying I'm a Green Bay Packers fan yet, but I'm rooting for them. They have my blessing. Prime time!
Ooh-wee.
The Chiefs whooping up on the Raiders. This is me saying I'm off the Raiders now.
Yeah,
I need
this one. I did.
Yeah, you did win this one. I did take the Raiders.
I want to make sure you point that out.
Chiefs currently sitting high.
Even though we tied this week, I should get an extra point for this butt whooping.
No.
I mean, you see those Mahomes? The Mahomes,
the Chiefs.
Passing?
The Chiefs currently sitting at number 1 in their division. 6-4. But there's not. I'm like trying
5 touchdowns.
I think they're gonna play. They're gonna make the playoffs.
Oh my!
The only team that I think challenges them now is the Chargers. I just said I'm really off on the Raiders, but I'm kind of trying to sell myself out of it because this was a division game. These things happen in division games, but I expect more from the Raiders. And
they couldn't get the running going at all, and that's what killed them. But Derek Carr had your most rushing yards.
Yeah. We've seen the blueprint on how teams are playing the Chiefs, and the Raiders couldn't do it.
No.
The Raiders couldn't do it. So that really terrifies me. I'm kind of sold. Like I said, I think I am sold off the Raiders. With that said, who challenges the Chiefs? Not the Broncos in this division. So it's the Chargers. Chargers have beaten the Chiefs once already this year. Can they take it from them? It's gonna be close. Gonna be close. All right, next up, last. This was kind of a shocker. We both took the Rams here. Rams got their butt kicked. Their ass, black and blue.
How about
31-10.
Should we talk about the pickup that they got on that team? I think he did really great, didn't he?
OBJ, he's week 1. We can't. You know what? Hey, as a Browns guy, calm down.
2 receptions, 18 yards, and he gave up an interception. That's pretty much what he did in Cleveland. Ain't nothing changed.
He doesn't know the playbook yet. I don't know.
Care if you don't know the playbook or not. You know how to run a route that you're told to do. You don't run it, and they get an interception. I could have done that with my bad feet.
No.
Still would have ran the route.
All right. Let's talk serious football here. Robert Woods announced out for the season before this game.
That hurt.
Van Jefferson has been stepping up in a number 3 role great, but we've had many questions if he could be a number 2. OBJ is going to come into the system and potentially he has every opportunity to become an elite target. This is his proof. You have an elite quarterback. You have a good offensive line, a great running game. You don't have to be the number one. Cooper Kupp is the number one in the league. That connection with him and Stafford's number one. So you don't have to. You're going to get a chance to get some balls. But we'll see. Because another thing is Cooper Kupp and Robert Woods had a very good chemistry together of being completely, they weren't selfish. They didn't, right. They kept score with each other on blocking plays to see who would get more points. So can OBJ be that, is he going to be a distraction in this locker room? That's the big question. Von Miller got to play in this game, looked pretty decent. But my biggest problem with this team is the 49ers came into this game and out-muscled the Rams. This was a physical game, and I didn't think the 49ers had it in them. But they beat the crap out of them. And this defense is supposed to be elite. This is a defense we expect huge things out of. I'm highly disappointed in this defense.
2 interceptions. Matthew Stafford was looking pretty subpar again 2 weeks in a row. With the same exact interceptions.
Yeah. And with that said,
pick 6 again. So
this offense needs to move the ball so that this defense isn't on the field as much. But this defense also needs to stop teams at third down. This is like the third week where I've had very serious. Like at first, it starts with it's the defense like that bad. They'll be okay, and then it's slowly turning into this is bad. And now I'm in panic. We hit the red button. Lights are flashing. I'm terrified. I need help. Someone come. Calm me down. I'm in panic. Pure panic mode.
I think we need to watch out for this. Is what you need to watch out for this team is receiving core with Van Jefferson and OBJ just joining the team with losing their second wide receiver. I think you're going to see some tiffs. You're going to see some button of heads with Van Jefferson and OBJ.
I hope
really
not.
Think you're going to see that, and I think it's going to tear this team apart. If that does happen, that will be the core of the reason of what's going on. But if we see OBJ step up, team play it, and can get the receptions he needs without being always targeted for everything, this team has potential to fill Woods' position. He's a good wide receiver, man. That was a huge loss for this team. Having that a lot of 3 wide receivers.
He's not
would have been big.
He's not an amazing receiver. He's good.
No,
he's good.
But he's consistent and he's been doing well.
And a key thing is he's not selfish. That's a huge thing. I just punched my mic. But with that said, let's get into the Old Duck Power Ranking review and criticism of some crappy guy on NFL Network.
All right, let's get into it. We'll start rank 32, Houston Texans. They're still at the bottom of the barrel. They're not moving.
Started from the bottom.
The Jets are moving down to the bottom real quick.
31.
Rank 31. Detroit Lions with a half a win. Moved up 1 to 30. Watch
Moving
out.
On up.
Here they come. Jacksonville Jaguars moved down to rank 29. Dolphins moved up 1 to 28 with their win. Falcons went way far down after their butt whooping from 20 to 27. We have Washington moved up 2 to 28. The Bears. Moved back 2 from 23 to 25. Giants moved back 2 to 24. Denver Broncos, with their loss, moved back 6 spots to 23. That's a pretty big one for a 5-5 team. They're even behind the Seattle Seahawks, who are 3-6, and they moved back 3 to 22. Philadelphia Eagles moved up 5 to 21. Las Vegas Raiders moved from 15 to 20. That's a pretty big move, I think. For a 5-4 team. We're talking over 500% team. Carolina Panthers. I think this is a Cam Newton I'm back move. 6 spots from 25 to 19. I don't know if we'd go 6 spots with that.
Can we play the clip from last week of Duck saying, yeah, the Carolina Panthers just went down and it's a continuous trend? They should be lower.
Listen, only because we didn't know. Did any of us know this was coming? That Cam Newton was coming back to that team?
I expected Ducktronomics.
This was the best move that Carolina Panthers can do, is to put Sam Darnold at the far end of the bench and maybe even just say, you know what, Sam, why don't you stay home, watch the game from a distance, because that's where you're best at. This was huge for Carolina, okay? Mm-hmm. So I think if the big question is, if he can get to this playbook, I don't know much has changed. I don't even know if it's the same coach as last time, because I don't know. He hasn't played on a team for a couple of years, right? If anything, if he can be consistent and can get and not be a big head and all about himself like it has in the past, I think you're going to see this team do pretty well and potential playoff contender. Pittsburgh.
I'll say this: if Cam Newton doesn't get hurt, this team's in the playoffs.
Oh, I totally agree with that.
If he gets hurt, it's over, and that's always been my concern with Cam Newton. What week is he going to get hurt? He doesn't slide. He'll take hits. And you know how I feel about running quarterbacks that take hits. Cam Newton came out his rookie year, broke my mold for what I think about QBs, and then re-solidified it all within 2 or 3 years. So that's how...
I guess... Go ahead. Sorry.
No, it's just how I feel. I think he's great, but it's just a matter of if he gets hurt and when he gets hurt. Mind you, this team... Who led the league in rushing touchdowns? Sam Darnold. Cam Newton comes right in and fits that spot. I think Cam Newton has better decision-making than Sam Darnold, which gives him better, but he does not throw a better ball than Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold's young.
Here's the biggest question.
Something going.
Here's the biggest question out of those two. Out of Sam Darnold and Cam Newton, who has the best fashion? Okay.
Oh, Cam Newton.
So right there's the best question. So
let's
what are we going to see
number
every week from
18?
him?
Number 18.
Number 18, Pittsburgh Steelers moved back 4 spots. Even though, didn't they win?
Oh, no, they tied.
Oh, they tied. Well, I mean,
the Lions.
Half a win. They lost 4 spots for that. They're 5-3-1. San Fran moved up 7 spots after their win for 24-17.
Really? Beat the Rams. You get to move up 7 spots, apparently.
You're not even 500 and you moved up 7 spots. Okay. Bengals stayed pat at 16. Colts moved up 3-15. They're 5-5. Minnesota Vikings moved up 7 spots. That's way too big of a move for this team.
Yeah, this team's not better than half the teams.
And what he can do, and he's a good quarterback, but the pressure kills him, and we've seen that in a lot of games. New Orleans Saints stayed at 13. The Browns moved from 10 to 12.
Moving on down.
I am shocked that they only moved 2. I honestly probably would have moved this team 4 or 5 spots back, or maybe even more.
That would have been 32 for me.
The defense was garbage. Look at this defensive surrendering, scoring drives covering 99, 95, 92, and 83 yards.
Yep.
That's bad.
That's terrible.
Having one of those in a game is bad, let alone 4. This is not good. We're super inconsistent, and I would not be surprised to see this team keep continually moving down.
I think a big thing, too, with the Browns is their running game is gone.
Well, it didn't help having Chubb, right?
That's their biggest... We've talked about this. This is a run-first team.
We still had a rushing yard of 99 yards, so I don't think that was the biggest issue. Our biggest issue was defense. The defense was horrible.
Oh, I think defense plays a lot, but this team needs to be a consistent running team.
Yeah.
They need to be 200 yards rushing every game.
Having the COVID crap has hurt them a lot, for sure. Los Angeles moved back to rank 11 from 9. Baltimore moved back 4 spots out of mid top 10. They were number 6, moved to 10.
Thought you were about to say out of top 10. I'm like, we are in the top 10.
We're on the verge of the top 10. We're on the top 10 now. Los Angeles Rams moved back to 9 from 7. Even though they had Von Miller and Odell, they got rocked.
Yeah,
New England Patriots.
The Rams are going to move up. The Rams are going to move up. This team is going to move up. I still have my panic button going around, but they're going to move up.
No, I'm hitting it right now. This is major panic for that team. There's too many other good teams to be happening for them to be having this issue.
Don't make that motion when we can't see your hands.
There, that better?
Yeah, it's way better.
I mean,
I'm like, whoa,
come on,
whoa.
Come on. At number 8, New England moved into the top 10 at number 8. I think this is a good move for them.
Oh yeah, Patriots
I'm
are
liking
moving
Mac
up.
Jones. I've been liking Mac Jones from the beginning of the season. I think he's in the right coaching staff for this to happen, right? So I think this is a great move for them. And then remember what happened with this, right? Who did they get rid of to put Mac Jones starting this year? Cam Newton, right?
Cam Newton they got rid of Cam.
Released. Yeah.
They got rid of Cam for a completely different reason, and we both know that.
Well, we know that, but he still was released from the team. And then Mac Jones stepped in and has been doing really well. So whatever the reason was, and we know the reason for it. That's not. I don't think that really hurt.
I think it was their excuse to put Mac Jones, and it's paying off.
Yeah.
It's paying off.
Yeah, 100%. Kansas City moved back into the top 10 from 12 to 7. I like this move. I think we've talked about how we're up and down with Mahomes.
I don't like moving up 5. This is a 10th
I like
team.
this move. No, I like this move. I think you're going to see them in the mid. I don't know if they'll go any higher, but I think you're going to see them in the mid. Tampa Bay moved back from 2nd to 6. 4-spot change.
That's what happens when
this is okay. This is okay. They shouldn't have lost that game, right? Buffalo moved up 3 spots to 5 after their shellacking of New York. Well, the Jets, the defense was amazing for the Bills too, though. Arizona moved back 3 spots from they were number 1 last week.
I don't like that with the injuries they had.
Yeah, but you can lose your job as for injuries. So I'm okay with this move, even with injuries.
Like
they didn't play good.
If we're going into the next week, like if Kyler Murray's back, are we saying this is the 4th place team? No.
Yeah.
No.
With what we've seen,
if Kyler Murray is back, this is
if he's back that next game, we've seen consistent. We've seen what teams have happened when that quarterback comes back after an injury. Their team is still not great. I'd give them another week or 2, possibly. If they go back and win this next week, I can see them moving up 1 spot to maybe 3. And then if I see them doing well that next game, 2 weeks, and they win, I can see them as number 1 for sure then. But I would not throw them back up there that far, that fast. Cowboys have moved up from 5 to 3. I like this move. I think the Cowboys are a contender. It's hard to say that because we've seen them play well in the past, and then we've just seen them falter. But even with injuries, even with some of the stuff that they're dealing with, they had a really good game. I know it's the Falcons, we know that, but like you said, it's a
pump the brakes, pump them.
No. Why? Why are you pumping the brakes
on the Cowboys? Pump the brakes.
Why?
They just beat the Falcons after losing to the Broncos.
Are they in a rival in division game that you always talk about? How in division games are big and can go either way.
They lost to the Broncos.
They got shellacked. This was so bad they took Dak Prescott at the end. You don't do that in the NFL.
They lost. They beat the Falcons. That's not that's in conference, not division.
In conference, that's what I meant.
In division games are different, not conference games.
We don't.
You lost to the Broncos. I'm pumping my brakes. Just because you beat up on you're a heavyweight that beat up on a child doesn't mean I'm
going to on this next team. Tennessee Titans are.
I don't know what to think of this team, and I talked earlier.
What do you think of them moving up to 3?
I don't like it.
Without Derrick Henry, if they had Derrick Henry, what would you have them at?
I'd have them probably around 5, because I think this team's good, but this team is inconsistent. Like this team has. Tell me who are the Titans' 2 losses to?
I don't remember.
Go look it up real quick. Look it up. Tell me who their 2 losses are to.
Oh my gosh, you're gonna make me pull this up.
All
right, let me look it up. Hold on. I'm sure someone could say it already. Tennessee Titans schedule. Arizona, first of the season, and the Jets.
Who?
The Jets.
Who?
Final overtime. That was week 4.
I don't care what you lost to the Jets. Zach Wilson and the Jets.
Doesn't matter.
You lost to the Jets.
Arizona Cardinals when they lost the last couple games. So what is that?
Not to the Jets.
No, but still.
You weren't the Jets. Nope. All right, next up.
Unbelievable. Green Bay Packers, number 1. What do you think about that?
I don't know what I think about that.
I like this move.
I don't know what I think of this.
It's a shutout. I don't care what team you are or who you are, but if you get a shutout, that's a big win. That's a big win.
Green Bay's hot, but I'm not sold. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of things I'm not. There were some injuries here. Aaron Jones got injured. There's still very many. There's a lot of questions on the receiving core. It's Devontae Adams and Randall Cobb. I like Randall Cobb being there a lot. It's a familiar face. It's a reliable veteran. Mm-hmm. The defense can play. We've seen it. I will say if this team gets a home game in the playoffs, they're highly favored. Probably against any team they play. So, I could sell myself into putting it at number 1. You don't got to bend my arm too much.
Right. Yeah, so there's your top power rankings for week 11. And we'll see how this next week.
Well, with that said, let's get into the week 11 games, shall we?
Let's do it.
In our pick'em, Ducks down by 4. Still, he's keeping it close. I'm not pulling away either. This is not a free fall, as some would say. But with that said, Duck, would you like to pick first or defer?
I'm gonna let you go first this time.
All right. Well, this week we have Thursday Night Football. The Atlanta Falcons hosting the New England Patriots. I almost said New York Patriots, which would have really weird.
That would have been.
This is Thursday night, but there's no way in hell you're getting me to take any other team but the Patriots here.
I don't know, man.
You really want to take the Falcons over the Patriots?
Well, we saw, what did the Falcons do 2 weeks ago? Falcons, they had a good game. They won that one, right? And then they laid an egg this week away. They're home. Patriots on a high. Potentially, this could be...
It's in Atlanta.
This could be a... I'm going Patriots.
Was it that hard?
Yes. I was really leaning Falcons on this one, but
woo!
Maybe it's in my head because I want Patriots to lose. Yeah, so that helps the Browns.
You want to do what?
Yeah, I don't know. Okay.
All right, you're up first. First pick, the Philadelphia Eagles hosting the New Orleans Saints.
Gosh, that's another tough one. My word. I'm going to go with Philly. I think Hurts is, like you said, stepping it up and coming strong into the games. And I think this is a win for Philly.
Yeah, this is a really hard game to choose. This game
comes not sold on Trevor Siemian, so.
Yeah, this game comes down to which offense do I trust more? And who do I think who can control the defense better? I'm going to go with the Saints, but I don't feel good about it. I don't feel good. I feel like Duck feels like you just got a free win, though.
I know. I don't think so. Because I was leaning Saints from the beginning, so this is going to be a close game.
The Eagles have a very good defense. I mean, when you look at these offenses, I'm not sold on either of them. But I'm thinking of, the Saints acquired in trade for Mark Ingram. Mark Ingram had a very good game last week. And I think they're going to want to run the ball and just continuously run the ball. They don't really have the receiver core. I'm kind of selling myself on Philly right now, but I took the Saints, so I'm not. But I think they're going to want to run the ball. They're going to want to, oh, God, now I want to take Philly. Let's move on. Move on.
Saints have a good defense, though. They're fifth ranked defense.
Yeah.
So I think you're going to see, I don't know.
Philly,
it's going to be a good game. It's going to be a good game.
We'll see. I might have a regret on that one. But as they win, yet knew it the whole time. My pick first, the New York Jets are hosting the Miami Dolphins in the Turd Bowl of the century. This is... Dolphins coming off a good win.
This is ranked 32nd and 31st defensive teams right now.
Yeah, and I mean Jets I almost just want to take the home team just because it's JETS, Jets. Like, I kind of just want to take the home team. Dolphins had a good game last week though.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who the Jets don't have an identity. Like, when I think Jets, I can't name you a receiver. I mean, I love Devontae Parker. I know they got that rookie that's really good. Or no, excuse me, that's the Dolphins. See, look, I can't think of so many Jets receivers. I started thinking of Dolphin receivers. But I gotta go Dolphins. I can't go Jets. My heart wants me to take the home team, but I gotta go with the Dolphins.
Yeah, I'm going Dolphins too on this one. I think Dolphins are definitely a better team, home or away against the Jets. The Jets had a rough game last game, and it's hard to come back from that type of game, that type of play. So I'm going Jets. I mean, not Jets, Dolphins.
I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure you said Dolphins. You want the Jets? All right, got you for the Jets. All right, the harder game, the pick that I think you're gonna have a hard time picking, the red hot Washington football team after their big win against Tampa go all the way to Carolina to face the Carolina Panthers.
All the way.
All the way.
Like, as if it's a long drive.
3 hours, okay?
I'm going Carolina on this one.
As am I.
Cam Newton's potential starting this game for the full game. Carolina's Panthers defense has been pretty good this year. Yeah, I've got Panthers winning this game.
You don't got to do too much to sell me on it. Next up, we have the Indianapolis Colts going to Buffalo to play the Buffalo Bills. I'm gonna just keep it quick and short and say I'm taking the Bills.
Yeah, Bills. The Bills.
The Bills. Our next game we have This is the try hard and true game right here. Duck has to pick first. The Cleveland Browns are hosting the Detroit Lions. This is the battle of the bands here. This is the game of the week. This is where the 50 cup. This is where the 50
I wish we were going to, right?
This is it. Duck, what are you taking?
I'm going Browns.
I'm going Lions.
Good.
The Lions.
This is potential for the Lions to get an upset win on this.
Now hear me out. Here's why I'm really taking it, because I fully believe the Browns are going to win this game. But I'm taking this because if the Browns do lose, Duck here is going to be so upset.
Oh,
I'm gonna be so happy because the Lions won and I took the Lions. Oh, the rubbins will be good. Like, this is the rubbins of the prime rib. This is the rubbin.
Next Tuesday,
the ham is getting rubbed with the glaze.
Next Tuesday. Yeah, we're busy. We
gotta take a day off next Tuesday. Yeah. Sick day.
Yep. Yeah, if that happens, it's bad.
All right, Mike.
I hope it's a bounce back game for them. But we've seen inconsistency all year for this team, so I don't know what we'll see.
Speaking of inconsistent teams, we have the Jacksonville Jaguars hosting the inconsistent 49ers. 49ers coming off a big win, but that's an in-division game, so you know how I feel about those. The Jags, you're at home. Yeah, I just cannot not take the 49ers. I got to go 49ers here.
Yeah, I agree. 49ers.
All right. Duck is up first with the Tennessee Titans hosting the Houston Texans.
Tennessee Titans.
Tennessee Titans. You ready
Houston
for this?
Texans are gonna stay at the bottom of the barrel here, dude.
You ready for this? I'm taking the Texans.
You go ahead. That's a definite win for me.
Look, this is, and I'm gonna tell you right now. For when they win, you're gonna understand why I picked them. Tyrod Taylor's healthier. They're gonna come out of this game. It's an in-division game, mind you. And the Titans are gonna feel like this is a free win. They're gonna get raffle stomped, just like the Jets beat them. And the Texans are gonna make me feel better. So my Detroit Lions, when they get their win, they're still the #1 seed. They get their pick.
Not happening. I'm glad you think that. It didn't change my mind. That's sure.
All right. Next up, we have the Vikings hosting the Green Bay Packers in division game. I'm still going with the Packers, though.
This is at Vikings too.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be a good game.
It is definitely gonna be a good game.
I think this is again.
If I was not so invested on our Browns game, this would be the game I'd be watching.
Right. I'm gonna go Green Bay as well on this one, solely because this is the second game back for Rodgers. I hope we don't hear any more bad news this week from that. Something going awry, but yeah, I think they're gonna roll over this team.
Yeah,
we put a lot of pressure on them. So
I don't know. I can see the Vikings winning. You definitely see it.
I can see it, but I don't. It's a very small light at the end of the tunnel for that.
Next up is the Chicago Bears hosting the Baltimore Ravens. Duck, you pick first.
I gotta pick first.
Yeah, you really want to take the Bears over the Ravens? Even though the Ravens just lost to Miami? Who has a worse record than the Bears?
They haven't played for 3 years. Baltimore. Man, I don't know. I hate picking Baltimore. I really do. I'm going Chicago.
Really?
I think Baltimore loses back-to-back. And this is how we question that team even more. They seen what happened to them last week. If Chicago can duplicate the same thing, Chicago wins this game. I'm going Chicago.
You know, I was thinking about taking Chicago if you took Baltimore. Because I wanted to say that, but I
can't pick Baltimore. I can't. I just can't do
it. Yeah, I know your soul can't do it. But
if this was a home game for Baltimore, I probably would have picked Baltimore. Chicago.
I just don't think the Bears are good enough.
Chicago is.
I'm going Baltimore. I'm going Baltimore. I don't think the Bears. Yeah, you definitely are.
No.
All right, now here this game is going to be a tough one to pick. And it's going to be in division, the Las Vegas Raiders are hosting the Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals have been really putting me on notice lately, but I have to go with the Bengals over the Raiders. The Raiders have really been losing their identity, so I'm going with the Bengals.
This is a tough one because there's even harder games after this to pick.
Oh, I've seen all of them. I'm my God.
I know, right? I'm gonna go Raiders.
That's just because I didn't.
Probably. I gotta go Raiders in this game.
This is how we end up tying. You realize that?
Yeah. Oh, I know it is. But I'm trying to get an advantage.
This is probably not the one you should go with then.
No, but
this is how I keep my lead. You take these bad games.
I know. I do it all the time. But
you win the good ones. I mean, this could be one of those good ones too, though. You know,
this is gonna toss up. This is a toss up game, right?
It really is. It's an in division.
Either team can win this game. Not in division. Raiders are not in our division.
Oh my God, they're not.
See?
Oh my God, I made a boo boo.
Okay,
I made a boo boo.
I
made a serious. No, I'm still taking the Bengals. Hell no. I once I write my pick, I ain't undoing it. I would have done the Eagles pick if I wanted to do that. All right, Ducks up first.
No. What is it? Tell me what team, and then I'll tell you who's up first.
You're up first. Seattle Seahawks are hosting the Arizona Cardinals.
Okay, this one's okay. What is the news on Murray? Do we know if he's going to be back for this game?
I don't know.
Is there any potential of him being back for this game? That's kind of really relying on my pick, to be honest with you.
Listen, you have the computer next to you, sir.
I know I do. I'm looking at it right now, but I don't know anything about that. Like I don't know where the news. I don't have any news on that. I need the down and dirty.
Down and dirty. All right, here we go. Latest on Gronk, Kyler Murray. Okay, what we got? Give it to me. Nothing.
I don't have it. You have it?
All right. Yeah, it said it's going to be a close call for him to play against Seattle.
Okay. I'm going Cardinals. So
I'm going Cardinals as well. There's no way in hell.
Yeah.
I have a very strict.
Seattle wins. It's.
You can't pick Baltimore. I can't pick.
Yeah.
No. What happened to our image here? What's going on? Our image disappeared, so we had to fix that. All right, so Cards, both taking the Cards. All right, next up we have the Kansas City Chiefs hosting the Dallas Cowboys. It's the Cowboys.
This is your pick, bro.
I'm taking the Cowboys.
Cowboys?
Over the Chiefs, yeah.
What?
We just talked about the Cowboys being this really good team. If they're going to be a really good team, you got to beat the Chiefs.
This is the number 1 and number 2 offenses right now going after.
Yeah, but here's the thing: if the playbook, the Chiefs are only number 1 because they dominate certain teams that can't.
And their defense is horrible. 30th ranked defense in the Chiefs, 9th in Cowboys. I'm a defensive guy. I love defense. I'd rather have a low scoring game.
So you're taking the Cowboys? After ridiculing me for taking the Cowboys? Was this because you wanted to take the Cowboys?
Yes, dang it. I want an easy win.
Yeah, I know. All right, well, you get to pick first on the Chargers hosting the Steelers.
Chargers. That's a simple pick for me.
It's a Browns fan. Chargers. Write them in. Chargers.
I don't even care. I don't even care.
Yeah, I'd go Chargers too. Big Ben. This team just tied with the Lions. You're not gonna tell me that the Chargers can't beat them. All right. Last pick. I go up first. This is the trap game, by the way. This is the Tampa Bay hosting the Giants. No. Brady and the Giants have some history, okay? They got some history. But I'm still taking the Bucs.
Lock it in. There's no trap game. If any, this is not even close to a trap game. Giants are going to get slaughtered. Bucs are going to be back on the top again like they always have been. Bucs win this by at least 2 touchdowns.
I'm writing you in for 2 touchdowns?
Mm-hmm.
All right, 2 teams on a bye. The Broncos and the much-needed Rams. The Rams needed this.
Oh.
This is going to make the Rams much better for next week.
This makes some good potential for them, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see.
All right, with that said, we have a whopping 5 games we differ on. We differ on the Saints-Philly game, the Lions-Browns game, easy win for me, the Texans-Titans game, Baltimore Bears, and Bengals and Raiders. Going to be a great...
Man, I'm about to be 1-0. I'm about to be 1 up on you on this week. I'm feeling it. I may say that every week. Mm-hmm. And then we tie. But I think it's going to happen.
So, we shall see. Ash in the chat here.
That would be the Vanilla James.
Yeah, I am the savvy veteran. I appreciate the thank you. And but with that said, Ashley, thank you for coming to the stream here. But with that said, our podcast is ending. we want to thank everybody for coming out today.
Yes, very much so.
We really appreciate it. Whether you watch these live on Twitch, if you don't watch them live, you can always go back and watch the VOD, or you can go on YouTube and rewatch them as much as you like. And if you follow, or if you're on YouTube right now and you have not hit that follow button, or excuse me, that subscribe button, please hit that subscribe button. Give us a nice little thumbsy uppy.
Thumbsy up.
Oh yeah, we need a thumbs up at least on that. Oh yeah, we also have a Discord.
That's our Discord for Ducknella. And then I will. We need to get this set up there, James. We gotta quit slacking here.
The Discord, absolutely.
On the YouTube, the YouTube, right?
YouTube, we got on point, baby.
Well, no, I mean, do you have that one?
The YouTube
on your
Oh, the
link.
The links.
The link,
no.
Yeah.
Actually, check my about me.
On this, guys. We're gonna throw the link up here. Real
Actually,
quick.
no, it is on my about me.
Okay. Well, here's a link for right now. Let me get back on. This is the professional way of doing it, guys. Right here. Not Jurassic World. Why was I watching that anyway?
Jurassic World's a great movie. That's why.
Well, it's the new game came out too. So there it is.
Don't say those words around me.
There you go. Hit that YouTube's. Check out our podcasts.
Yeah, and YouTube.
This one will be up.
If you're not there, you can't click those links. You could go back to Twitch, which our links are down in the description below.
Yes, please hit them all. Give them all.
But with that said, thank you everybody, and we will see you next Tuesday for another Ducknella NFL cast. Good night, everybody.